Hi, I'm Moby. Welcome to my studio. And the song I'd like to talk about today, at present, I don't know the name of it. The name of the file is Love Tears, but I don't think that will be the name of the song once it's released. It's a song that I've done with my friend Specks, who's an amazing, amazing singer, signed to Mute Records. And the song started with drums. So, I mean, her Specks vocals are amazing. Selfishly, subjectively, I think the music is good. But I wanted to talk about the drums because they started really, really small and thin, and they kept getting bigger and bigger. And then there's one little bit of simple studio trickery that I used to make the drums sound even, hopefully, more gigantic and expansive. So, not to in any way ignore the vocals or the music, but we're just going to talk about the drums behind this song with Specks, and I don't know the name of the song because I'm ignorant. And as I've said over and over again, I only give songs their final name right before the record's released, so that's why I'm more confused than you are. So here are the drums. It started off with actually just this simple little tom-tom part. So that was the start of the song. Because I collect drum machines, and that's from one of the greatest drum machines ever made, the Roland CR78. And I love, we'll talk about that hopefully some other time, but I love old analog drum machines, and I arrogantly, presumptuously believe that I have the world's largest collection of analog drum machines. Maybe someone can prove me wrong, and I would happily accept that challenge. So, back to this CR78 tom-tom. Nice and simple. And then I added the kick drum, which is not from the CR78. And then the snare drum. And so I ended up with this nice, simple little drum part. And then I programmed in a bunch of other drums to sort of like just fill it out more, because as the song came together, as Specks did her vocals and the music developed, the drums sounded just too thin, so I added this programmed part. Which I felt sort of filled it out more. And then I added another programmed part. So this is what I had up until we started mixing the song. And I thought that was nice. But the song has this sort of like expansive, beautiful quality to it, or at least I think it has an expansive, beautiful quality to it. And so I wanted the drums to have a more expansive, beautiful quality to them as well. So I took that last programmed part, and here's the studio trick. So if there are any producers out there, you probably already know this, but I'll tell you anyway. Take, whether it's a drum loop or a snare, and you put it to reverb. That's the obvious part. But then take the reverb and send it to really intense compression, because what the compression then does is the reverb hits the compression, and the compression brings up the end of the reverb. As the reverb normally would tail off and get quiet, the compression actually brings it up, and you end up with this sort of like big, sometimes almost too expansive quality. So there are a lot of records you wouldn't want to do that with, but with this one I felt like sending the snare to reverb and then send the reverb to really intense compression. You ended up with, so once again, so here's just the regular programmed drums. And here's with the programmed snare going to reverb. You're not, as I said, not just going to reverb, but reverb into really, really tight compression. on this song that I don't know the name of, that I did with Cold Specks, how it started with this tiny little CR78 tom, added a few little programmed elements that were very simple, added more programmed elements, and then took the final program snare and sent it to reverb and then compression, and ended up with this big, what I hope is like a big, nice, expansive drum sound that sort of matches the expansive quality of the song. Okay, that's it for this one. Thanks.